Welcome back to Table Conversations. We are doing a part 2 of the topic that we were talking about last week. If you forgot, it's not everyone gets to see at your table. The conversation was just going so good that we didn't even get to finish like almost half of it. So we're just gonna continue where we left off. There's a little discussion angle I kind of want you guys to give your perspectives on. It's the idea of social media access versus real intimacy in today's world. I find that the nice thing about social media is you don't have to let anybody know if there's actually anything bad happening in your life.
Yeah.
But then it comes with the negative side of lacking that intimacy. No one knows actually if anything is that is happening.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah. I'm not a heavy social media user.
We did talk about that,
And it doesn't, like, from an outside perspective though, it doesn't take much to realize that everybody wants to give their persona that they're living the perfect life, right? Because like, who wants to talk about the struggles? And I think that harms everyone equally. Because when you're only seeing the best of everyone, and you're the only one seeing your own internal struggles, like, it's just a question like, what's going
on? That's good. I have news. Like, I agree.
Talk because I'm tired.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
He's drinking tea.
Honey citrus mint tea. Starbucks is medicine ball. Not sponsored.
Medicine ball, not sponsored.
I think also when it comes to social media access, we're kind of like, well, coming back from the sickness, guys, so you might hear some snorkeling and some coughing, so I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What comes with social media access is like the followers and the like what Abby said in the last part, how even when you follow someone on TikTok, it comes to the misconception of friends, right? But friends are things that you share your turmoil with, your ups and your downs. But in social media, you only see the ups. It's rare that you see someone's downs. Like, there'll be some people that post their downs, right? And actually, sometimes some people post their downs to seem like they're a humble person. So it's like, who do you know? You know what I mean? Like, who do you really know in social media, right? And, I find that with social media comes a lot of positives, reaching people that you never thought you would reach. But then you might not connect with the people on the same way that Christ wants us to connect. I think, actually, no, I don't have anything else to say about that part. But yeah, you want to move on? Yeah.
Yes, Jacob?
I think
Mine's working.
Yeah, I see it.
social media is a really cool platform to relate to people. Like, have you ever seen like a couple people like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. But there's such a tough battle for authenticity. And I don't want to say there's no authenticity because I'm kind of like basically just hating on us basically right now, right? So I'm not going to say there's no authenticity, but there's a tough battle for it, I would say.
Why do you think that is?
Well, for the very point that we were just talking about that you guys just made, that when people try to share their struggles, you can't even tell if it's that they're trying to help you or show that, oh, I'm such a humble person.
Yeah.
Where do you even find authenticity in that?
Yeah. I think it goes back to the points and the points that I made in part 1. How do you see someone's fruit over social media? I don't think it's possible. Really.
For
because you're not spending time with them, you're not seeing them. In fact, you're not. The true test of someone's character is when they mess up. What do they do after? Like, what does like their repentance road look like? That's something a mentor once said to me. What is someone's repentance road look like? Because repentance is always just like something that we're continuously doing, right? How do you see repentance on social media? Because in a sense, most of the time they're critical on what they post to make sure that it doesn't seem like they're doing anything wrong. Sometimes they will, right? And then maybe you might see them post something afterwards, but I find that seeing it in real person, you'll actually see the walk and the character, the fruits. I'm going to move on to our next discussion angle, and that's let's talk about family boundaries. Abby has a great verse that she has prepared. Oh, you have to find it? Okay, I'll let you find it.
It's in my notes, guys.
But in a sense, family boundaries sometimes are misconceived in the Christian community. I find that a lot of times you'll feel like you always need to, at the extent of your doing harm to yourself, help the family member. And I think I said this point in part one, how in families, you have brothers and sisters, they're all in the same house, but they all still have their own bedrooms. They all still have their own space. I think that is something that needs to be more prevalent in the Christian community. There's this idea of brother or sister is hurting, we need to rush to go help them right away. But we also have to be wise when we go rush to help them. Right? Jesus didn't heal every single person that came to him. Right? Like, there would be those who were accorded that he did heal, but he did heal every single person that ever needed an affliction. There were times when he did go out of his way to heal a lot of people, like in Matthew. I forget what chapter, but in Matthew, I remember he healed many people, and many were praising him. But, yeah. It's not yours. Get it? Okay.
In Luke chapter 14, verse 26, it says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. So even there, I feel like there's a boundary that Christ has set. If your family is preventing you from your walk with Christ, my Bible has like this heading that says the cost of discipleship. Sometimes that cost is, not really, or setting healthy boundaries with your family, even though you might not be used to it. Do you have something to add to that?
I think, yeah.
You
saw my brain quick.
Yeah.
Jesus says, I come to bring a sword.
Yeah.
Right? And we sometimes don't want to think about it when it comes to our own family, but that's true to our own family sometimes.
Yeah.
When they start overstepping,
Yeah.
you will have to be the one saying, no, I need this
Yeah.
for myself, right? Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, but it's like, Jesus isn't saying, don't love your mother. Like, I think we all know this. Jesus isn't saying you can't love your mother, you can't love your brother, you can't love your sister, you can't love your father, right? But in comparison of him, it should be night and day. It should be vastly different.
Or if it's causing you to step away from the walk with Christ, then you need to, kind of figure that out and set those boundaries. And sometimes it can be really, really hard because you're thinking, okay, the verse in the Old Testament where it says honor your father and mother,
right?
And you're like, oh, okay, am I honoring them? Or dishonoring them by setting these boundaries? No, because if what they're doing is overstepping and going into, telling you something that really does not align with the Bible, then you must, it says, hey, obviously we know what that means.
Yes.
for the sake of following Christ and kind of staying on that road.
Yeah. Some people might get confused by the verse.
Yes, it's very.
But it's important to understand that, like, actually following Jesus, I remember I made this point, means loving everyone. But in this verse, the reason why he's saying hate is because the vast amounts you should love Christ, the vast amounts you should love God, because it is the first command. You should love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, right? And your might, your work, like everything in you, right? I don't know, Jacob, what do you think about family boundaries?
For me, I guess what I could say in my experiences, like you guys were both talking, no one should come before Christ in your life.
Yeah.
But then after that, I would say I'm more so like on the end of being very like vulnerable with family and like I wouldn't say like I'm like very boundaries with my family.
Yes.
Of course, you respect like people's space, like you said, like the bedroom thing. Eyasu. But what I like a lot about what you were talking about, Abby, if your parents, let's say, are saying something like, let's say you're a Christian, but you don't come from that family background of Christian, or where your parents may come from a faith that actually detests Christianity or Jesus or the ways of Christ, right? You gotta set the boundary there. Mom and dad, no, I'm gonna pursue Jesus over what you guys are telling me right there.
Yeah. And sorry. You have more to say?
No.
Okay.
I stopped there. I was waiting. I don't want to like.
And then also sometimes the Holy Spirit might be telling you to do something that people think is insane, and they'll probably be like, why are you doing this? Even your own family might even say like, you're crazy for doing this. But sometimes you just gotta do it and like block out the noise, honestly. I had something, but
I like how you specified that. What is it like for someone who maybe not come from a Christian home?
Yeah.
I find actually sometimes those who don't come from a Christian home, like their boundaries can be very messed up, or actually better than families in the Christian home, which is weird. It's like either the very good boundaries, because it's like I kind of want to say it, but Western culture, I feel like some families in Western culture, they have decent boundaries, but then also they have horrible boundaries.
At the same time.
At the same time,
Yeah.
exactly.
The best and the worst.
Yeah, the best and the worst. Like, hopefully, I'm gonna use my family for example. By the way, love you, mom and dad. But a lot of the times, like, my dad, he'll just come into my room whenever he wants, right? And me and him, like, I'm okay with that. Like, we have that communication, right? But, like, for someone else, some other families, right, they'll be like, you have to knock before you enter the room, like, the room and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I find that as long as boundaries are communicated properly, they should never inflict or block the love within the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boundaries aren't meant to block love.
They're honestly, I think, the honor.
Yeah. I think it's to honor it, like, and respect.
Yeah.
Because love is respect as well.
Yeah. Hey.
What do you do in a
What
do you do
very
in
well.
like the door situation you guys said? Let's say you do want that boundary in place and you don't want your parents opening the door whenever they want, and you communicate that to them effectively, but they still violate that.
Okay.
You got that?
Yeah, I got that. So essentially, that rule in my house is kind of like when they know I'm not really doing anything, when I'm kind of just chilling, right? And that usually in that case, like the door is just like halfway open or open. Usually when it's closed shut, it's either one, I'm in a meeting, two, I'm like steadying, locking in really, or three, I'm like worshiping, praying, right?
Yes.
And if they really need to get to me, right, they will. What my dad actually does is he'll just call my phone. He'll actually call my phone, instead of like knocking down the door, one, I kind of feel like he just doesn't walk down because I'm in the basement. He doesn't want to walk down the stairs and knock on the door. It's just too much. Because like he'll be like, hey, what? If I pick up, then he'll know. Like, yeah, what's up? But if I don't pick up, usually he knows I'm home.
Yeah.
Obviously, then he knows I'm busy doing something, talking to somebody, or doing work. So, like that's kind of how it's established here. It wasn't always like that. It kind of was more like, yeah, I think it was mainly as I grew up. I feel like when I was younger, it kind of was just like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
As I grew up, they started to see me more as my own. Yeah, as my own man. I'm my own young man, right? As much as I'm still my mom's little boy, I'm still a young man. So it's like, yeah, I can't say like we ever had a sit down discussion on like, okay, Dad, I don't want this, because I'm like I said, I was blessed that they kind of just understood it as I grew up.
That is
So
like
that
those
that
boundaries
need
are
is,
slowly like.
but like if any of you guys have had that conversation with your parents, please chip in.
That's a good question.
I think you have to also ask yourself, why aren't they listening? Is it out of like, oh, I just kind of want to do my own thing, like I'm right, you're wrong? Or is it out of like safety? Because like for me, for example, when I was younger, I'd say probably like grade 6 maybe, I had a lock on my door. So I would lock my bedroom door all the time. And then my mom would always like come in and be like, or knock and be like, unlock the door. Or my dad as well. Because they were more so worried that like they couldn't get to me if there was like something that was happening, you know. That pretty deep secret, but yeah. So they were like, okay, yeah, you're not gonna be allowed to do that. And then I would protest it and be like, no, like I really want to, like just let me lock my door, it's my like room, all these things. You know, angsty 12-year-old.
12-year-old
crash out moments. But yeah, I think obviously they did that not out of like, we want to like monitor you and we want to control your life, but rather like we want to make sure you're safe, you're taken care of, and if anything happens, we can get to you, and that you'll be okay. So I think you have to kind of differentiate why they're doing that as well. It's important to remember that. And then also, I'd like, one of my favorite quotes is that it's their first time moving too. I really like that. Because, you've never heard that?
Oh, yeah, it's just
It's like your parents' first time moving too. Or like,
Don't forget.
like, don't forget that.
everyone's first time.
Exactly, but sometimes we forget that, like,
So don't I? I don't get it.
sorry, I'm really loud.
I think.
I'm sorry. I really wanted to say, that's tough. But
You're like, what?
Like, it's everyone's first.
No, wait, actually, you get it though, right? You get what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
Okay, thank
It
you.
helps you give grace to your parents. Because,
Yes.
like, sometimes we're like, oh, why are you doing this? We're like,
Yeah.
well, like, I told you so many times, stop. But then you're like,
Oh, wait.
you just take a step back.
Yeah.
Just as I'm trying to navigate this walk
Kind
of
of just
life.
like saying they're humans too.
But
I
it's
don't
their
know why.
first. No, like I
Yeah,
really
I
like
know.
it's their first time living too, though, because sometimes like forget. Okay, our mom, our dad, like they're
Okay.
also just like learning things as well, you know.
I'm talking it down.
And they're like it's their like they're raising you, they're like learning things as they're raising you. It's not like they have like a previous like really like figured everything out and know everything. Like they don't. So sometimes there's something that they might do in a season that maybe they're like, oh, actually we should have probably, given you that, whatever it was. Sorry about that, you know?
Yeah, okay. I think I'm talking.
You get what I'm saying,
I get what
right?
you're saying now. It's just when you initially said it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Try to like, the way I think about it, like we're all adults now, obviously extremely young adults. But if you had to raise a kid now, hypothetically,
Yeah.
that's not easy. Like, really try to put yourself in the shoes of a parent and Like that's what I kind of been doing recently, and I'm like, bro, think about even trying to raise yourself.
Hey.
That's not easy. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm just thinking about the dumb things I used to do as a kid.
No, truly. Like, even my crash out over, like, the door being, like, locked or unlocked was, you know, to me, I'm like, this is the hill I'm dying on. Like, no matter what, like, I'm right, you were wrong. Like, this is, like, I just want to lock the door. Why can't I? You know? But they didn't, like, they're just doing it out of safety.
Right, yeah.
So.
I get it. It's like, parenting is like trial and error too.
Yeah.
It's like, the only way you learn is by trying and doing things and learning from the mistakes. So, like, oh, I thought you said oh, you were just affirming me.
I'm affirming you.
Okay, yeah, tight. Abby doesn't like when I say tight, and so she just whispered, she's like, why'd you say it on the pod? What was I saying?
Type.
Oh, no, yeah, like I was saying, like parenting is trial and error. When the children understand that, they can come to terms, they can kind of give their, maybe understand, give their parents more grace for why they might sometimes have this idea of boundaries being like confused and blurred, right? It's not like most parents, most loving parents, I gotta say, don't mean it to harm you. Like, that's, cause like, from the moment they're, like, your child is born, your whole purpose now is to raise this human being, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna love this kid as much as you can, but you're gonna make the mistakes.
So, drop that section.
Someone's FaceTime. Sorry, guys. Dropped the dog here.
Who is it?
Shout out Eyasu for FaceTiming me. I kind of wanted to answer it, but never know. Never know.
Okay.
So he could just be on the construction site. That's why I have no idea where he's at. Anyways, going from family boundaries, right?
Wait. To end that. Sorry.
To end that?
Yeah, to end that. I'm going to say. I was
Oh, yeah.
for the family boundary.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yes. So, if you see, like, these, you know, boundaries and you're like, no, I'm very adamant about this specific boundary, and your parents or family already said, no, we're not going to respect this boundary, sometimes it also just takes going back and having another conversation with them and trying to explain why again. And if they still understand, and if it's very, very serious to you, you could even, you know, bring in like a third party potentially, depending on how dire it is. But I feel like sometimes, like spiritual mentor or somebody, to just like explain why or like explain your perspective. And I feel like honestly, sometimes after the first conversation, things are a bit like, you know, we don't know, we have our opinions. But after the second one, you can kind of, you know, get people to understand your perspective as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's good. To switch up the discussion angle, going from family boundaries, we're going to now go into why solitude sometimes, or should always, I shouldn't say sometimes, why solitude comes before a godly community. Actually, I should say sometimes. Why solitude sometimes comes before a godly community. Actually, I'm struggling to say why sometimes. I think solitude does become more important than godly community, and I have
Yeah,
definitely. At times.
yeah, like.
Yeah, at times.
Yeah, like before the. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like another example of this is like, do you invite your whole godly community into your secret place? Like when you're talking to God?
Exactly.
No, that would be foolish, and you shouldn't do that. Like,
No longer the secret.
yeah, it's no longer. It's called a secret place for a reason. It's just a place at that point. Like it's just fellowship. Yeah, like you're supposed to. That time is when you're really supposed to have that intimacy with God alone, and where He really molds you and bends you and turns you into the person that I believe that you're supposed to be. I believe like that's the most transformative thing that you have in your life is to have one time with God.
Yeah.
Because you can go to that moment in any emotion you have. Whereas sometimes going to godly community with any emotion you have isn't always the smartest or wisest thing.
100%.
Yeah. You can go to God with anger, but sometimes when you go to godly community with anger, just pure, like lamenting, some people won't understand what you're trying to say, and then it kind of builds on the point that we talked about last time when they use it against you. Yeah. That's what
Okay, so in John 15:2, it says, "Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit." So sometimes when you're in the pruning process, you will have to experience solitude, and sometimes you're gonna have to, you're gonna probably feel lonely. You're like, oh, like I don't have anyone to turn to. Turn to Christ.
Yes.
Because even some things that Christ is trying to prune or take out of you, that you're like, please take away from me, or like asking him, like, what is in me that I don't see that you should, like, that you don't like, that you can please remove it, something like that. You could do that, right? But if you're not in solitude in some of those situations, sometimes even the godly community, the people you love, can also be struggling with the thing God is trying to prune you from. So you need that solitude to really get it out.
That's good. Yeah. You don't bear fruit for yourself. You bear fruit for others, right? So if you don't take care of yourself, have solitude with God, right? The same thing that you might be struggling with, someone else might be struggling with, right?
Yeah.
Now you can be a testimony for how the soul is a secret place, how spending time with God, how being really in your word, how praying, lamenting to God really saved the situation, like saved where you were from, right? Jake, you have something to say?
Yeah. Like, you guys got it exactly what I was thinking as well. Just if I could just add one small thing, it would be that just studying the way that Jesus lived as well. He's a big practicer of this solitude. Like, do you guys remember the stories where he would just send his disciples and he would go by himself to spend time with his Father? Right? Like, are we not trying to emulate the same lifestyle?
I even like how before the most important thing in his life, guess where he went?
To pray.
Right. The secret place, right? And people are like, oh, he went to pray with the disciples. No, he told his disciples, we're not even going to go further. You guys keep watch.
Yeah.
He didn't keep watch, he slept. Like, he went to pray, bleeding, sweating blood. Like, in the most important moment of his life, he went to go pray, right? And doesn't that just show a testament of how solitude comes before God, how solitude comes before godly community in a lot of moments in our lives.
Because also solitude is not like you are by yourself, because obviously as Christians you believe that we have Christ, so, and we have the Holy Spirit, so we are able to enter a place of togetherness with Christ, right?
Yeah.
So you're not ever really alone. But
You're never alone because he is alone at one point. Right? Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if you heard me on that one.
I don't know. That was good.
I'll just say it again. You're never alone in this life because he was alone once, like on the cross. Yeah.
Thank you guys for that.
Honestly, you guys think there are people who just by their nature, we all have different personalities, right? Introverts, extroverts, all the in between, right? Is there people you think that just kind of just enjoy solitude more than others, or just find it easier than others? And sometimes people who kind of go into solitude too much because of not wanting to interact with others.
Solitude with what though? Like solitude, right? Like you're with Christ?
So
can I explain something?
Yeah.
Please.
I think there's no such thing as going too much to solitude. What you're doing is separating.
Not in the element of solitude with Christ,
Okay.
Just like I think,
solid.
yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it's good. Like even like when you're not praying, sometimes there is times where you do need to like. I don't think it's good to always be out and about like all the time. Like sometimes you need rest. Like even just reflect on things, right? Of course, in prayer with Christ, but like just what I mean by like here, when you Google solitude, it means the state of being alone, right? And when we're being alone, like obviously we're not talking about alone with Christ, right? But I'm talking about where solitude can get negative in the sense that I'm guilty of this, just wanting to be sometimes some weeks I'm just like, I just want to be by myself sometimes. That's not good, I think.
Like, what do you mean? Like, how much are you? Cause there's
Too much sometimes. I think sometimes it can happen too much.
Like where you disappear, kind of.
Yeah, just for self-desire, but doing that.
Sorry.
No, because I can relate.
Yeah.
And it sounds rude and harsh, right? But in the end, sometimes it can harm. It's hard to be before.
Yeah.
It depends. Like, go ahead.
No, you can go. Actually,
Oh.
I can refine it. Yeah, go ahead.
It depends. Like, what you mean by like out of your self-desire. Like, you just need a like reset. Because I think if you just need a reset and kind of just
Reset is okay. I promote that.
Yeah,
I said
that's what-
sometimes, but I think sometimes, like because introverted people, like myself, I guess I could say I'm introverted. Sometimes will make the excuse that I'm practicing solitude because they don't want to go out into community. Like I think part of why, like I talked about it last time in the testimonies episode, how it's gone from church for a while, right? I could have been like, it's solitude, and I need a break from everyone. But God doesn't want us to exile ourselves from community either,
That's
right?
good. Doesn't want us to exile ourselves from community. That's good. Yeah. I think.
So.
There's a limit. There's like a. What do you guys think the limit is? Like,
Oh. Okay, I think both ends can be really, really bad as well. You know, not having any solitude, because I feel like we can get into the point where we're like, or at least for myself, like sometimes you just don't want to be by yourself, and for some people, like even they don't want to like, be alone with their thoughts or the things that they're struggling with, So that's also not great. But yeah.
Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. This is what the person told me. It just came back to my mind.
Okay.
They're like, there's a difference between isolation and solitude. How do you not practice isolation with the excuse of, this is solitude? I'm sorry. It's hard. I'm sorry to interrupt.
We're opposites. That's why. That's why I think it's
that's
funny.
why.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I think I can do this. How do you practice solitude? How do you practice
Yeah, just contrast solitude and isolation.
contrasting solitude and isolation? Ooh, that's good. I think isolation is purposefully trying to get rid of the people in your life sometimes by removing yourself from a scenario, mainly just because like you're like sick of them or something, or you're getting like for at least this is me speaking from my experience. I'm getting tired of people and like I'm isolating. But here's the thing: when I'm isolating, my focus isn't even on God. It's just for myself. It's just like I want to be seen as the ghoster. You know what I mean? Whereas solitude, it's like in my soul, in my spirit, I know I'm gone way too far from God, and sometimes I'll just go back and I'll just fast and I'll just come back to His presence. You know what I mean? Like, but isolation is like sometimes genuinely I'll depart from people. I'll be like, yo, I'm gone, deuces, see y'all later, just because I just want to be seen as a guy that's like, like, how do I say it? I got better things to do than just chill with y'all. What? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. I used to be like that. Then my homeboys, they kind of took that. Yeah, they took that out.
Godly correction.
Yeah, Iron Sharpens Iron. Proverbs 27:17.
Great
27:17.
verse.
It's great. Yeah, that's kind of how I do it. I think we're getting a little. I think we're nearing the end of our So some practical takeaways that we give.
Last episode, 2 episodes ago.
I got so. Just like as we were talking, I kind of was like typing and like checking some things. And here are some takeaways that I have. Something that I feel like we didn't talk about enough, but like I wanted to make it clear is you can forgive someone and still limit access.
Yes.
Right? Like, for example, if someone has hurt me before, because I brought them too close, my obligation is to forgive them. My obligation is not to bring them back to where they were.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And access is not entitled.
To that again, just so that they can.
And access is not entitled.
Access is not entitled. That's good.
Anywhere.
So yeah, you can forgive someone and still limit access. Not every relationship is a sign for. Oh wait, no, I actually read the wrong line. Sorry, guys. Your table should protect your purpose.
Hey.
Your table should protect your purpose. The people around you, the people closest to you. Remember how it says, "Show me your 5 closest friends, I'll show you your future."
That's it.
That's one of my favorite sayings on earth.
Real.
So your table, whoever's at your table, should protect your purpose. And so then, yeah, you can forgive someone and still limit access. Your table should protect your purpose. And the last one is, I'm going to say, is access is earned through fruit, not familiarity. You know this. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were laughing.
No, I was laughing. I was like, oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
So yeah.
Oh.
Good. All right, guys. Stay blessed. We love y'all. Peace.
Hey.
Also, guys, we just want to give a special shout out to Old Beverly Cafe for letting us host here. It wouldn't be possible without them. There's a lot of behind the scenes that you guys didn't see about just trying to find a location to film, and they were so open and just allowing us to film. And special shout out as well to Eliora, who's on the camera today.
Yes.
Big shout out, Ellie, bro.
Big shout out.
Huge help to our audio issues we struggled with in episode 1, as well as our camera issues. Again, more behind the scenes issues that we had that you guys didn't see. But yeah, shout out to Old Beverly Cafe once again and Eliora.
Yeah, Ellie.